He told them, do not let me out of prison. I am going to kill people and eat their hearts. And Nebraska said, oh, okay, let's release you anyway. And just days after being released, this man went on a killing spree. And his name is Nico Jenkins. But let's be real, his entire family are all criminals, and he grew up seeing a lot of violence and abuse. I mean, his first memory was cleaning off blood from the bathroom floor. By 7, he brought a weapon to school. By age 11, he joined a gang. And at 17, he was sentenced to 15 years in prison for carjacking. And you would think that he'd realize his wrongdoings, but he stayed violent in prison and he racked up another 5 years on top of his sentence. So that's a total of 20 years now. And while in prison, like I said, things just kept getting worse. He would hallucinate and drink his own bodily fluid. I mean, I'll be honest, this man was batshit crazy. Nico would spend 60% of his time in solitary confinement because he was just considered too dangerous to be around other inmates. He claimed that a god named Apophis was telling him to kill, and he literally begged the system to never let him out. And if they ever did, he would 100% hurt people and that he would eat the hearts of his victims. And instead of listening to him, they decided, let's let him out 10 years early. 10 years early. This man didn't even have good behavior in prison, so why would they let him out this early? It doesn't make any sense. After 10 days of being released, Nico had his sister and his cousin lower 2 men out of a bar. Their names were Jorge and Juan, and Nico's over here trying to rob them and they're trying to run away, and so Nico grabs a weapon and shoots them both in the head. 8 days later, him and his sister ambushed a man named Curtis and then unalived him. Don't forget what I said earlier, the whole family's crazy. 2 days later, Nico's like, okay, I think I'm ready for a car now. So he heads over to a McDonald's and runs up to the car of Andrea Kruger. She is a mother of 3 and just trying to get some McDonald's. He grabs her body, drags her out of the car, and shoots her in the head, instantly unaliving her. In just 29 days of being free, he has already taken the lives of 4 people. After committing such a heinous crime, Nico ends up being trapped, caught, and arrested. I don't know what was up with this man's brain, but at first he's like, oh no, it was my sister and cousin who did all this. And then he's like, no, it was actually my fault. I'll admit to it. But then he flips it again and he puts the blame on an Egyptian goddess named Apophis, and that these sacrifices were meant for her. He tried suing the state for $24.5 million because they let him out early, and he told them, I'm gonna do this if I get out. I ain't gonna lie, he had a point, but still. And while awaiting trial, he kept trying to injure himself and play the crazy card. But after getting a psych evaluation done, the doctors are like, no, this man is very sane. Nico Jenkins ended up getting sentenced to 4 death penalties and 430 years in prison. But surprisingly, this man is still alive today in 2025. It's kind of crazy to believe that people like that live in the same earth that we do. Please be safe and be kind to each other. I love you guys so much. I will see you in my next video. Mwah, group hug.
Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. The Lord is going to send evil spirits and lunatics like this in the times that we are fastly approaching, which is known as Jacob's trouble, which I'm going to grab a little scriptures revolving Jacob's trouble, going into the book of 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. The Lord got men, women, and wild beasts on lock for the day of judgment. Guys like this, and best believe it's plenty more men that's way worse than him. That's out free and even incarcerated, which we know in the days that we're coming into, a lot of these prisoners are going to be out breaking loose and getting set free. So the Lord got something in store. This is Sirach 39 and 28. And it says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force. And this guy literally was going on a killing spree for the hell of it. All right. And the Lord got men like this that's in store for this implementing judgment, which why it's going to be a very scary time for you average woman out here that don't got a hedge of protection from the man of the Lord, all right? So in the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Okay? And guys like this, basically they got legions of demons on them. All right? For we come in many, legions of demons just dwelling in their temple. And their spirits created for vengeance, man. All right? Fire and hell and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. Okay? Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. All right? So not only is he going to have these evil spirits on men, women, but also wild beasts of the earth. And it's going to be, you're probably going to see some beasts you ain't never even seen or heard of before. Just here, just to judge, man. All right. This is Jeremiah 30:7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. There it goes. But he shall be saved out of it. And that he is pursuing to the men that's going to have that mark of exemption, as well as the women and children that's cleaving on to these men, all right, that's going to receive that mercy. Ultimately, it's the man of the Lord, but Jacob's trouble is really 2/3 trouble. Why? Because they're not going to have that hedge of protection. All right, and the Lord ain't going to be dealing with them. They're going to be getting caught with crazy ass lunatics like this guy, which it reminds me of that dude Skeletor that was in the last Purge. It was this dark-skinned dude, Jake. His name was Skeletor, and he was just going around purging and killing niggas, man. So, matter of fact, I'll get 2 Ezra 15. And 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction. So woe is going to destruction, all right? And Jeremiah 37 speaks of a time of trouble that's none like it. But 2 Ezra is going into detail, For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. So you're going to have all this chaos and madness going on. Why? Because this system, as you know it, the way it's set up, is going to crumble, all right? It's going to be a famine. It's going to be lockdowns. It's going to be curfews. Similar to what 2020 brought us. But that being a test run, this is going to be the real deal, all right? Because Esau is going to bring out that order and chaos. Order out of chaos. There's going to be a little certain event that's going to cause all this madness to happen. And the solution is going to be the Revelation 13 to 16, the MOTB. So all this is going to be that excuse to get the mark of the beast. All right. And that's what this man is ultimately setting up. All right. But ultimately, that mastermind that's behind it is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, so this time of judgment that's going to happen on this earth is going to be the will. All right. The will of the Heavenly Father. Ultimately. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. The modern day sword being the gun. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. All right, so these people, they're not gonna. It ain't gonna be no 911. All that is gonna be completely done with. You call 911, it's gonna be out of service. They're not gonna be operating. America is gonna be a completely lawless society. Right? These people, they're gonna be uprising against the governments. Why? Because their rights are gonna be taken. Have freedom of speech, being able to go out all throughout the night and do this and that, go to work, anything Jake does, your basic daily needs is going to be taken from you. All right. Especially when the food get taken up out of this place, that's going to cause a lot of chaos, man. You got that one Edomite that was going into how if a famine happened, he's going to be checking out his neighbors to slaughter them so his family can eat. So we're coming into some very serious times. All right. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because there's going to be checkpoints. It's going to be patrolled by troopers, martial law troopers. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So you're going to have crazy sickos. Man, the Lord got a lot of things in store to humble this place. All right. And these women, they're going to get their little government rights, all that taken from them. Because ultimately, they were just set up to come up against their own men, which it worked. But these women, they're going to be shit out of luck. But the basic point of the video is the Lord got spirits, evil spirits on people. Freaking legions of demons on these folks. Just to fulfill judgment. All right. And if the men gonna be afraid, how much more the women? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their goods with the sword, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. Why? Because of a lack of food, the society being lawless. and spoil of goods because of lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Okay, so order is gonna be a great order out of chaos, and the only men that's gonna have that protection from this gruesome time that's gonna come upon this earth is the men of the Lord. And that's why it says in Isaiah 55, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, while his prophets are out on the street corners delivering this message, which is why it's important to repent. All right, but I'm gonna keep it short right here. Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm gonna close out, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, salutations down to the hopefully elect. All right, I'm gonna say shalom.